Talking with the myth, the legend, the man, Joe Kosiski, owner of I-80 Speedway. We just got done Friday night with more great racing, and this track does what it does. It gets fast early, and then when it starts taking a little bit of rubber, it starts widening out, and man, the racing really changes from the first heat to the second heat of the late models.
Well, I want to make sure of one thing. I'm a co-owner. My brother Steve's the other half owner. I don't want to be the whole owner of this,
right.
But I understand where you're coming from. I am one of the owners. But let me tell you, Steve does the track work, him and Mike Rusko, and they do a magnificent job. You know, that's something we try not. I try to take care of the business side of it, and he tries to take care of the track side of it. And this racetrack, for some reason, just races top to bottom when we get it right.
And when it gets up top, man, it gets fast.
It gets fast and about a foot away from the wall. So that's what is really good. You know, you're sitting there watching them guys that they're running about a foot away from the wall, running wide open, and the guy on the bottom, I mean, we're 90 feet wide in the corners, so that guy on the bottom's a lot less distance to drive around, so it makes it raceable all the way through.
Well, you take a look at what Rodney Sanders did in the USMTS Modifieds coming from the back row after he spun, and then he's running the low side along with Terry Phillips, and 3 more laps. Sanders might have had him, but you had guys running high and you had those two running low, and it was everything in between.
I think a 35 lapper, it might have been Sanders. But congratulations to Terry. He done it in 30. I have to vote for the old guy once in a while.
Well, we just got done with, as I said, with just the heats, and I've got a question for you that I asked you, but I'm going to change it a little bit from a couple years ago, but a little bit different this year with all the prize money. First of all the heat winners, that's $15,000 that you just gave up, or $30,000 you just gave away.
No. That's it's altogether it's $500 a heat race, so it's $3,000 to each section. So we gave away $6,000. You know, it's not a lot of money, but you know what? For a 10-lap heat race, they usually get nothing. The winner gets $250. Second place gets $150, and third place gets $100. Yeah. They all appreciate it. You know, it helps pay for their gas and that to get here. So.
And along with that, there's a little extra prize money going into tomorrow night.
Yes, we put $20,000 into this year's purse, going into we can only have 3/4 full for our grandstands. And you know what? It's the wonderful people that love this race. It may be the biggest race of the year. You know, there might not be a Nebraska guy in the race, but we're going to have the biggest race of the year regardless.
Let's talk a little bit about that. You know, you guys hadn't started along with all the other tracks outside of, out in the lower southern part. All the virus stuff coming in, you guys had to be questioning a lot of not even knowing if you were even going to have this.
And when they told us in June that we could finally open up, it was like, okay, what do you think we're going to be? Because we started out at 25%. And I kept holding off, and I kept saying, we're going to keep selling tickets. We're going to do our best. We're going to make this race work somehow. We got to about the 20th of July, and they said we're going to go to 3/4. I says, okay, 3/4, I can make us get about even. You know, we'll see what happens. Right. It depended on what we could do on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights, if the crowds was better or worse than last year. And Wednesday night was better. Thursday night was a little worse. Friday night was better. I think we're going to be fine, and I think we're going to have a great one, and that's all we're worried about. You know, I'm a race fan at heart. My brother's a race fan at heart. We go Kentucky. We go everywhere. We're in Florida every year watching races. So what better thing can we do than to have the biggest race of the year, hopefully, at I-80 Speedway?
Well, I took a look at the stands, and if I had to guess, I would think they were about 75-80% full.
No, tonight we was only about 50.
Was it 50?
Oh, yeah, it was about 50%.
Okay.
The bleacher end, down at the other end, the bleachers on this side wasn't real big. The center section's getting close to the 3/4. I've been checking every night. I was down tonight again about 6:30, making sure where I was at, because the last thing I need to do is have the state or somebody close us up or tell us for next year, oh, by the way, we got COVID again and you aren't going to open. I ain't going through all that. I want to be here next year running this race again.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the question, but I'm going to change the name that I asked you a couple years ago. A couple years ago, I said, is it Jonathan Davenport of the field? I'll give you this one, but I'm going to add 2 names. Is it Bishop or is it Jimmy Owens or the field?
Oh. Adding the two, putting the two together.
Did I do it again? Did I leave Joe Kosiski speechless again?
I need to take the field this time. I need to take the field.
And the thing is, if you have to think about it, that's how
close it is. Yes, that's how good it is. You got to remember, I've been watching Ricky Thornton pretty close, and the kid's running.
Starting on the front row.
Wow, and who else starts on the front row with him?
Jimmy Owens.
Jimmy Owens. Well, you probably got. Where's B-Chef start? Second row?
I think second or third. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Talking with co-track owner Joe Kosiski, another nice, great night, and I just can't wait for tomorrow. $53,000, also $1,000 for. Is it still the $1,000 for the even every 10 lap?
We couldn't get the lap money done with the COVID. I didn't want to start selling it.
Right.
I did not do that. So that $10,000 didn't get to make it this year.
But that was on the
that was on the agenda,
yeah.
And it was going to be done. And I had two guys told me before the COVID that they would do it. I was sure I had probably more guys ready to do it, but I didn't know until, like I say, until almost July 1st,
right,
that I could even think of getting this race in, and I couldn't sell the rest of them.
Well, I guarantee, talking to some of the drivers, they're very appreciative. You guys do a hell of a job.
We raised that purse. We raised it from about 5th on back, got more money this year, and that's what they're all appreciative. Including the non-qualifiers race is paying $1,000 for the non-qualifiers. I don't even have 54 cars here, and they're getting $1,000 to not even start the race.
Where else in America can you do that?
I don't know.
Thanks again, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.